Hi folks, how we doing? Today I'm going to create a new project, and if everything goes well, we're going to be connecting to two separate MySQL databases, which I currently have running on Amazon Web Services, and then we're going to transfer data, a limited amount of data from one database to another. So we're going to launch Talend, and we'll create a new project called YouTube. Click Create. Then it should automatically select your YouTube project, and then you'll click Finish. And wait for Talend to open. So Talend Studio for data integration is basically an Eclipse plugin that runs on Java. It's pretty cool. It's free, and it's available for anybody to download and mess around with. So first things first, we have to get access to our databases. You do that for metadata, and then you right click on DB connections, create connection. This one's going to be my provider. Let's go capital P so we don't mess anything up. Next. Database type is a MySQL, right? And it starts to fill in this connection string. I'll show you my server. Actually, if you guys could just avert your eyes to this. In fact, I think I'll gray it out for you. Okay, my login. Give me 2 seconds to fill this stuff in. Okay, I think that should do it. You can always click check. Successfully connected. Oh, what's the name of my database? Provider. With a capital P. Alright, so that's that. You should see that database connection there. I'm just going to create one more. So we just right click, create connection, data warehouse, click next. Database type is also a MySQL. My server is the same server. Login. Okay, database this time is data warehouse. So you fill it in, you can click check, whatever. Okay, so then once you have your two databases, go ahead and right click on each of them and select retrieve schema, because you're going to need the schema of each of those. Just do the whole thing, doesn't hurt. Just going to, oh, where's my database? You don't have anything in here? Yeah, you do. Source 1, okay. Database warehouse has source 1. Next. Okay, and it has all these fields. Finish. Wonderful. So that imported this. My provider database needs to import schema, or retrieve schema. Okay, wonderful. Get my schema in my views and everything else. There's my source 1. You'll notice that both those tables have the same name. It's just limited fields. So inside my provider, inside my provider schema, you have the source 1 table, and you're going to see it has 22 columns, including first name, last name, date of birth, SSN, while my data warehouse table schema only has 15. It's because we took out that patient information and only brought in the non-identifiable information, including patient state, height, weight, smoker, so on and so forth. So just an example of some kind of patient data table. And then once you have those connections, what we need to do is create a new job. New job. The name of the job will be ETL from provider, no spaces, from provider. Alright, so we are going to, alright, so data warehouse, and what else? Provider. So we want to bring in source 1 from the provider, just drag and drop that, and that is going to be an input. MySQL input, it kind of knew automatically. Okay, so that's an input. And then my data warehouse table schema, source 1, over here is going to be a Amazon output. Okay, and then we're going to link those two with something called a tmap. Okay, it's basically just XML. Right, and then we connect them. Oh, sorry. Have to get this red O, and we'll row main to that. And then here we'll get that output, new output to my Amazon Web Service, and we'll just call it out to Oz. Sure. Do you want to get schema of target component? Sure. Okay, then you double click on your tmap and you say, okay, here's your source, and over here is your destination. You can do automap. If they have all the same names, it'll probably find. Okay, but we don't want this ID to come over, so you come down here and delete ID. And maybe we use this X. Then you press apply. Yes, propagate changes. Okay. Yes, propagate changes. Okay, so now we're finished pretty much with our job design. We've got our source 1, which is an input from provider, and then we have source 1 over here is the other table schema from our data warehouse. What else? We can go look right now at some of the mock data that's inside provider source 1 table. You just have John and Jane Doe, some pretty generic information about them. And then if you go to our data warehouse now, you'll see you have source 1 with the fields, and there's actually no data in here. So we'll take it back to Talend, and we'll run it. And it should be pretty quick. It's only two records. Bing, bing. 2 records have been transferred, connected, disconnected. Your job is finished. We'll go over here to our data. We're in our data warehouse now. We just have to refresh. And of course, probably we're not recording this, but I hope you can see that just the data came over and none of the patient data came over. So that is effectively it. I hope you enjoyed learning about Talend today in under 10 minutes. Thank you very much.